Well, hello there. Welcome to Real WW Talk. I'm Candice.
I'm Rikki.
I'm Erin. What do we do?
Guys, listen, it has been some time since we've had to do that. And you know, Erin usually starts it, but
Right. Threw us all off.
I had to give her like an intro, guys, because everyone, I am so excited and I want to sing. I want to sing like Reunited, and it feels so good. To all of our Real WW Talk family, we are so excited to welcome back Erin Branham. She's back to Real WW Talk.
He's back.
We
Thank
missed
you,
you, my
guys.
friend. I think people didn't believe us when we said like the friendship's still here.
Right.
She's coming back. We didn't make this up. Hey.
No, it has been a wild journey.
Right?
To say the
This
least,
is-
right?
I mean, I was just talking with somebody today, catching up with them, and they were like, the last thing I remember, you had a ferret at your door in the middle of the night. I said, yeah, I literally went from a wild ferret knocking on my door at the middle of the night to on Wednesday night, and then Friday night I had cave crickets hopping around in my room that woke me up at 2 a.m. And then early Sunday morning, I'm up with what I thought was the world's worst vertigo, and I'm laying on my bathroom floor, and I have a glue trap stuck to the side of my face. And I'm berating myself for not drinking enough water. And I'm like, That's it. I'm doing a hydration challenge. That's why I've got the vertigo. No, is brain swelling.
Wow. Well, for those who haven't been like around for a while, like I said, Erin, we're going to let her explain a little bit more about it, but she's been gone for a couple months now with a pretty kind of serious thing that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We're laughing about it now, but this was something that, this has been a kind of a rough year for us with Real WW Talk. But one, we are so happy to see you. And we were like, look, there's just no way that we cannot do an episode where we just kind of dedicate it to hearing a little bit about this, because we've given kind of snippets. If you all are in our Facebook community, we know if you're brand new, you may say, well, what's that update about Erin? Who's this Erin person? But Real WW Talk has always been the three of us. And it's been a little tough for us to kind of navigate without your smiling face. So we want to just say that we're so happy to see you. And people in the community, I know are so anxious to hear what it's been like these past few months, kind of going from one reality to another really suddenly.
Well, and first, I just want to thank the community, because the outpouring of love. I mean, these two ladies, you guys, like, they showed up at the hospital, and it's not like you just show up at Johns Hopkins. Like, there are so many hurdles to showing up to Johns Hopkins. Plus paying for parking. Like, that's true friendship right there.
They really do charge per parking. Like, there's no like 2 free hours. It's like, no.
Right.
And there was construction. So it was wild. So yeah, I woke up June the 8th, thinking that I had really, really bad vertigo. And then it was so bad that I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. Spent the day in the ER, and they decided, let's just run a CT scan just to rule anything else out. And then the doctor came back and she said, you know what? The CT scan did show us something. It showed us that you've got a mass at the base of your brain. And I went, okay, well, not the answer we wanted, but it's an answer. So that's actually some good news. So they shuttled me over to Johns Hopkins. And like the minute I got over to Hopkins, like I didn't even get into the bed at Hopkins, and they were already doing like x-rays like in the bed. It was wild. And determined that I had a non-cancerous tumor called a meningioma. Interestingly, it primarily affects women. And as we get older, we may have a meningioma, and it grows in the lining that covers the brain. So it's not technically in the brain as a brain tumor, but it's a tumor that can grow on the lining that covers the brain, the meninges. Okay. So as we get older, our brains shrink. and it makes room. So if you have a tumor to grow, a lot of times if you might have a tumor and not even know it because your brain has shrunk and it's just kind of filling existing space, new space. So I just happen to be on the younger side of it, and that's how they found it. And honestly, I'm so incredibly grateful because everybody that I've talked to that had one of these types of tumors discovered it by having a seizure.
Wow.
So, and I didn't. So the ladies came and visited me while all of this was still up in the air and trying to figure out like what was going to happen. And then I ended up, they sent me home because they said, it is an emergency case, but you actually aren't as emergent as other people, which just broke my heart for those poor people. So a week later, so I went in on June the 8th, June 16th, I had almost 11-hour surgery. It was supposed to be 6 to 7 hours, but it was apparently super complex because of the size. It was about the size of a walnut, and it was at the base of my brain, and it had started to cross over into what they call the sinus cavity, which is actually the part of your brain that has basically all the cords, all of everything running up into it. And it had started to grow. It grew over my left skull, the bottom part of my skull. So it's kind of cool. I've got titanium in my head, and they crafted it in the moment to match the skull. So I don't have a plate. I'm a metalhead now.
And she also shared with us, when we met recently, we had a little meeting, and she was saying that you can, with the weather now, like you can kind of feel things like this is like some high tech stuff here. Like I said, if only for that reason, is that why you went through it? Just so that you can predict if it's going to rain.
So not only can I smell snow, I can feel rain. Yeah, when it was one of the, so I've joined the ranks. If anybody's had like a hip replacement or knee or ankle and they've got the titanium, I've heard from so many people like, oh, I can feel it in my joints. It's gonna rain. And I'm like, that's me now, 100%. So in terms of recovery, neurosurgeon said that it was going to take me a year to feel like myself again. I finally have started feeling like myself, just being able to like be me, see humor in things. Honestly, probably around mid to late August. It's taken me time to start to find me again through it. Let's see what else with that. I'm still in active recovery. I've recently returned to full time at work, and even then, I feel like I'm pushing it some days. I feel my head constantly. I'm never not aware of my head. I feel on a good day, I just feel like there's a rod in my head from here to like on the backside of my head. And then when the weather changes or it gets colder, or I realize the impact, and I would love for us to talk about stress, the impact of stress. When I'm really feeling stress, there's tension that rises in our neck and our shoulders, and you feel that, right? And you kind of move your head when you're real stressed, and you feel that. I feel it double what I would have felt before. And both sides of my head start to like freeze up is the only way I can explain it. And the only way that I can help reset that is to turn everything off and to go lay down, no looking at my phone. It's just eyes closed and rest. Rest is healing. And then processing is another thing. So so part of my job, I do a lot of events and concerts, and I right now cannot do those. It's too much for my brain to process the sounds, like if anything's like a high pitch sound or a low pitch sound, it really disturbs my brain for some reason. And if there's a lot of conversation, a lot of people, people tugging at me in different directions, I like short circuit. It's the weirdest feeling. It's so weird because I can do, like, I can, like, in my head, I'm like, I can do this. This is no problem. And then I'm, hiding behind a wall crying. So
And it sounds like you don't recognize how much of the different parts of your brain you rely on, like, until you go through something like this and have it impacted. Because
yeah.
I always feel like the brain is one of those, like, it's like there's so much that you don't know, about what it does. I know they remember that with my MS diagnosis. They would say there's a lot of your brain that you don't use or that we really don't have a knowledge about. But I know that process, I think you had expressed, and I know that there's been some other people in our community who had reached out to you to say that they had something similar, and how that process, is really sometimes up and down. Like some days I'm great, some days it's tough. And, so I just wonder, like, because you've been a person since before this, that kind of, you knew how you were interacting with the world. You kind of knew how you were, and having to navigate a new way of being. Like, how has that been, like, I mean, in terms of being able to deal with the fact that you can't do as much as you did before? Because you very much are similar to me. And I think Rikki too, like type A, like, let's get it done, and having to slow yourself down. I'm sure that's been.
It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating. I feel like I am letting people down everywhere. And I have to remember that I'm not letting people down.
Right.
This is part of healing. And I have to, this is such a short window of time for me, right? I have to really keep in mind that a year feels like a long time, but a year, when I look at the rest of my life, and, my grandmother is 91 and I'm 44 now, right? I have to have a long-term view of this, and that what I do right now in the short term is going to matter in that long-term view. So if I am not appropriately healing myself and doing the practices of healing, I don't want to be 71 going, Erin, why didn't you, when you had the opportunity, do this right for us now? So that's something that I'm really keeping in mind with it. But I will tell you that I expect myself, because I'm just, I'm so used to being me, and I say, oh yeah, that's no problem. I can do that easy peasy. And then I go, oh, wait a second. I actually can't do that easy peasy. That's not easy peasy for me right now. And so making sure that I'm not overcommitting myself, because I think I'm the optimal version of me when I'm just not the optimal version of me. That's hard.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then, like, adding on to that, like, how has your view and how you pursue, like, self-care changed, since having the surgery, and, changing, before, I know you were so active in walking, and that was your thing. That was your, like, desire, was like, I want to get out there. I want to walk. I want to be, even if it's dark on the streets and we're like, Erin, why are you walking in the dark? Right. But, like, how is
my
that?
lighted strap, I'm okay.
Right. How has that changed for you, and how have you embraced or changed with that?
That's another piece that's been really hard, because the walking, for some reason, adds a lot of pressure to my head. I also, I'm going to go for my walk, because I'm like, okay, that's going to be part of healing. And I didn't even make it a quarter of a mile, and I had to turn around. And I realized the problem in that instance was I was trying to listen to a Real WW Talk episode, and my brain could not process what it needed to do to go for the walk while also listen for a podcast. So I was like, okay, I tried it the next day and it was better. Still pressure, but it was better. And so I had been looking, this is God's humor, you guys. One night I was just like, God, I need some help here, because one, I was on steroids for this. And so steroids, gained weight with the steroids. That's what happens. I'm perimenopause, right? So I could go do the same thing that I did 2 years ago and gain weight, which is so frustrating, right? And And now with this thing, I can't move to the degree that I moved before. And so I've been slowly watching my weight climb up, which is really, really frustrating. Talked in one of my visits with my doctor about it. And she said the one thing that people do when something like this happens is they give up. She said, you cannot give up because remember that you're putting good, healthy things in your body, and your body needs good, healthy things for healing.
Yeah.
Your body will respond to the good, healthy things that you continue to do. And we got to think long game with this, not a short game. So just keep doing the good stuff. And I committed to her to do that, even though it was like, if I'm going to gain weight, at least I'm going to have fun doing it.
Yeah. But I feel like that's such a lesson. I mean, it's something, we've talked over this past 5 years about how we've always been able to kind of like have this, the scale has been the metric of like, okay,
Yep.
I'm doing when I had the breast cancer and we talked about me being put into menopause and having my body react a certain way, what I'm hearing you say is when you can't use that same kind of system before to determine your health and the goodness. And I really love that you talked about 71-year-old Erin and how she would feel about the choices that you're making now, even when you're talking about managing your stress or what you're feeding your body, because that is something that, is a thought that when we were talking to our lifetimers a few weeks ago, I know you weren't here, but I'm sure you listened, Jay from our group, and they were talking about our, the thought of the long game. Like this isn't about an in the moment kind of thing. So having something like a health issue that forces you to do something that we've talked about like that, I wonder if that's something that you found that was frustrating, because I know that this is when it's thrust on you, it's different than a choice. Like I just, you know what, this is just, I'm going to ease into this, and your body being like, no, this is how I'm going to have to be.
And
so
I knew that I would be here at some point, right? Because I'm a woman, and every single woman goes through menopause. And you remember too, like last year, I mean, I shared this on the podcast last year, I fried my uterus. So,
right. So lovingly said.
Right. So lovely said.
Just
I highly recommend, before anybody considers hysterectomy, check into an ablation, because that was game-changing, life-saving for me. But so I was already dealing with some shifting hormones because of that. And then now, so it's my doctor said, you've got a triple whammy right now. It's unfair. And I'm like, my doctor's amazing. But Candice, as you were going through your breast cancer journey, I remembered like how you doubled down on the vegetables and fruit and watching the sugar, because that's inflammation, right? I saw you use nutrition to help you through your cancer journey. And so it's like, okay, Candice has walked this path before. She's done this. I'm going to keep just, going down this path. Even if I don't see the scale changing in the way that I want, I know that I'm getting vitamin K through the kale. I know that I'm getting vitamin C and vitamin A through the carrots, right? Like all of those things. So,
I love
though
too about, you've always been kind of our food person. That's the joke, like parents put a little bit of mint in this or this, but being able to use something like nutrition as a way to kind of not only heal the body, but I would assume you love it, because again, you're that, to me, when you've had to slow down, that's something that I know that a lot of people have expressed, like when I feel like I'm not in control of something, like for me, at least I can control a bit about what I'm putting in my mouth and how I'm nourishing myself.
So, well, and it's also a weight off my mind. Like, I don't know about, like, I'm sure you guys are the same way.
Off my mind. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
But, when you're doing the right things, you're eating healthy, right? And I don't even like to say that we're eating healthy, because we just say we're eating the good, nourishing foods that there's so much comfort knowing I'm doing good stuff for myself, and I'm not beating myself up, right, for other choices. And I might have a little ice cream here and there, but again, it's worked in as appropriate. And so I can feel good knowing that I'm doing all of the best things that I can to help myself heal over over the coming year. And then there are things that I just can't do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't make my head heal any faster. There's nothing that I can do there except to give the appropriate amount of rest, hydrate, and eat good, nourishing foods. And then it's up to my head. You know, all of those muscles have to connect back together again. And that's going to take time.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about women who have had a cesarean section, right? That's comparable in the sense of how much is, you know, kind of cut through all of those muscles and layers and tendons that have to come back together and fuse. And in my case, it's just in my head.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still like, I can't quite turn all the way. This is as far as I can turn on my left side. So I do a lot of shoulder turning with it. But that'll heal. That'll get better. I can't drive long distances right now. And I can't drive, especially if it requires a lot of lane changes. So Baltimore traffic, DC traffic's not the greatest for that. So, and I'm having to do something that's really humbling for me. And that is ask for help.
I was just about to say,
Mm-hmm.
when the
Yep.
helper needs to help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what I've discovered? People like to help me.
But when you help people over the years, it's like, how could you say no? You know, and I think it's hard, I'm sure, as someone who's been a helper, to acknowledge that, like, oh, I can accept this, and people want to do this for me.
Yeah. It's a twofold thing of self-sufficiency, right? In some ways, self-sufficiency can put a wall up in front of other people of, well, Erin doesn't need help because she can do anything. She can do everything, right? But then there's also just some of this internal pride of I should be able to do these things. And if I ask somebody for help, well, what if they say no? But what if they say yes? Why am I automatically projecting that they're going to say no, or that they're going to let me down? Or, you know, I just have to get over that and know that people do want to help me and people care about me. And my gosh, the amount of times that I've had to go back and forth downtown to the hospital for different scans, for checkups. There was always somebody who was willing to drive me. And I'm so grateful for that because I hadn't been able to do that. So my sister-in-law was an absolute rock star, man. She missed her calling to be a nurse because she was my patient advocate in the hospital. She was incredible. I owe her so much, least to the fact that she chose to be married to my brother. So
but like I just feel like I just want to stop there because like you say you owe her, but like it's not not a thing of owing someone. It's like I'm sure she wasn't doing that and checking off a list like, well, these are all the times I helped Erin. I'm gonna come back with that list and say, okay, you got a babysitter. Like
she told me, she says, I was so excited when you asked for me to come. So she spent the night at the hospital with me. My mom was with me when I woke up from surgery. Guys, I can't tell you the fear that I felt when I woke up when I was in the ICU. I had told them, don't worry about it. Go home. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. And the minute that I woke up in the ICU and I heard my mom say she was going, I was like, don't leave me. Don't leave me. Please don't leave me. Yeah. Because I realized in that moment I was completely helpless.
Yeah.
And there was just this thought of not, and she sat with me my mom was awake for 36 hours and it was her birthday. I didn't even think about this surgery being on her birthday. What if I died? What a horrible birthday, you know? But, she was with me for 36 hours and God bless her for doing that. And I thought, she's 71. Like she doesn't have that ability to kind of do that for day in and day out. And so I was like, I bet Claire would do it. I bet my sister-in-law would. And she was like, I'm so glad you asked me to come do this. And she did. She spent the night with me, held my hand. At one point we just sat and laughed because she's feeding me broth in the hospital because I was in surgery for so long. my right side was numb. And I still have reduced sensation in the right side of my body. It's definitely weaker, and that will come back. But we just sat and laughed. She's sitting here just spoon feeding me broth and applesauce. It's like, you've just hit the most, I don't even know the way to describe it, but if you've been there and you've had it, that is pure love.
And vulnerability. You had to make realize you were vulnerable at that moment.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say, that in order to truly see, how someone can, you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. And that's the scariest thing. Like you said, in that moment, though, the humanness of don't leave me.
Yeah.
No matter how much I'm trying to be strong, I've gone through something that's really traumatic, and that basic instinct just hit.
Yeah.
And how beautiful it is to see that need met. And I think especially sometimes when we're so used to feeling like no one's really ever going to meet it, or, because I think that sometimes I've thought about some of our conversations in the past and the feeling that like it's always going to be that I have to be, depending on myself.
Yes.
And to be able to feel the beautifulness of the love of like, but I opened myself and was vulnerable and allowed people to show me that that's not true. Like that, there's a beautifulness in that,
There really was. And I think, I got a picture of what I had my funeral while I was alive. That sounds really weird, right? But, the minute this thing happened, I was so surrounded by so many people from my work, from our Real WW Talk community. I mean, flooding our PO box to the point where they were annoyed with you guys when you went and picked up.
Where is the stuff? They were like, who is this person? Like, just put it to the side.
It was overwhelming. And as somebody who is single, who doesn't have a lot of love shown to them, or even hugs, right? I'm not lonely. I'm not necessarily lonely, right? But I don't get that every day. The most that I get is usually my niece and my nephew. That's where I feel like the most completely loved. And it was overwhelming, in a really beautiful way, because I didn't know I was that loved, or, that many people even knew about me. I know a lot of people do, just because of my work. I work at a radio station. That's kind of impossible that a lot of people wouldn't know about you when you have 300,000 listeners, right? Like, but your brain doesn't comprehend that in impact. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who sent, cards and just such beautiful messages. Look at me, I'm 3 months later and I'm still bawling, like I am.
Cry, let it out.
I know.
This is what we do here.
Honestly, that was the other part of this too, is like, I'm just letting emotions go. I'm not bottling things up.
No stress. Be free. Like, we don't have time for this.
And I can't bottle it up with this, because it creates tension in my head. So.
Isn't it always the best? Like, and I don't mean this to like make light of like medical conditions, but like when I had my misdiagnosis, I was like, oh, I actually am not allowed to do stress. Thank you. Like, unfortunately, my body won't allow it. Like, there's something for you to be like, it's just not me. It's just darn.
Well, I said that at work. I kind of use that at work today. I'm like, listen, I'm not stressed about this, because it's going to get worked out, and I physically cannot be stressed right now. So I'm at peace. And when you have to be forced to be at peace, right? Like, I wish that was my natural term, but no, I'm forced to be at peace right now. And you know what? It's going to be okay. Everything's going to
use that to walk out of a meeting. Be like, unfortunately, I'm forced to be at peace. So this is a little too much going on. So I'm going to go ahead and go.
I'm just going to grab my bag and go.
Go.
Well, sometimes you learn some of your biggest lessons through your biggest trials, like, and I think that all of us can speak to that. But, I know that, and my prayer is that, and it appears to be that way, you've come out stronger, and with some new information about not only how much you matter to others, but also what it is to receive,
Yeah. Can I say that the strength comes through weakness?
Mm-hmm.
The strength has come through weakness. I've needed to be weak in order to lean on other strengths and to experience other people being strong. It's like, it's not that these things can't coexist, because they can, but humility and being that kind of weak is not it's not a bad thing. It's not a sad thing. It's not it's a certain vulnerability that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's through that weakness that I've been able to receive others' strength and care and love for me. So, and then I really just honestly, everything that we've talked about for, you know, how long that we've been doing this.
Blah, 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 years. Yeah.
Right? Blah, 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 blah. It has been just resonating with me about stress, about rest, about hydration, about nourishment. Like, it's all come together that if I want to be well, I have to lean in to all, and movement.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, you know, Candice, you experience it. The first thing you do when you're in the hospital, what do? They get you up, they get you walking, get you moving. And that's what we did. And so I'm still trying to find little ways that I can move. Oh,
I was going to say, come on, man. We were waiting for you to say it. Like, go ahead, Erin. Please tell us what family you've joined, Erin. Please, please. Yes. I was like, she's going to go the whole episode and not say it. And I'm trying to allow her.
I am now a member of the Peloton family, not just the Pelotons.
Round of applause. Where are the spirit fingers?
I know.
But I need everyone, because I mean, you guys were super proactive. You got your bikes, you got your things right. And of course, how long did I go? I'm a Peloton. I got my little Aldi bicycle going, right? So Jesus loves me so much that he purposely let me trip my way into a Peloton. So I was like praying the night, but I was like, oh Lord, I need help. I can't, the walking's too much pressure, but I'm gaining weight and I'm getting fat. And right. And there are two things that he knows about me. I love a good trash to treasure, a good bargain, a good find, and he knows that I love a problem to solve. So I exit my house, my condo, and there at the community dumpster, I see an exercise bike. And I was like, oh, let me just go take a little look at this. And so I roll up and I'm like, it is a ding dang Peloton. You guys, somebody put a Peloton out at the dumpster to throw away. So I can't haul a Peloton. You guys know they're like, what, 150 pounds?
Nobody cannot do it by yourself.
You with
can't.
This brain here, like trying to haul the bike. I have this image of her like, hold on.
I called my upstairs neighbor who is fit. And I was like, Joan, I was like, what are you doing right now? And she goes, I have a feeling whatever I'm doing is about to be helping you. And I'm like, get down here. I found a Peloton at the dumpster. She's like, I am putting my shoes on right now. We dragged this Peloton down the hill, around the side, down to my ground floor condo. She did most of the work. And all it needed was a new charging cable. That was I sat there and I figured the whole problem out. And it was like, let me just order this $25 charging cable from Amazon.
See,
and there it is. And so now I am like, you guys, I'm going to be so obnoxious because I'm out here acting like I'm the first person who's ever owned a Peloton.
And when we got together, we were like, oh, we can give you like a 2 months free for subscription so you can really try this thing out.
Because they know I'm still poor. And so I'm over here like I got a Peloton, but I don't have the subscription. I'm just pulling up YouTube and doing something from YouTube with the free ride feature. So
my God was like, let me just go ahead and give her like just another little bit of like, she needs a little sign. Hold on, just get that Peloton over there.
The Lord heard my prayer and he gave me a Peloton at the dumpsters. So I'm like, okay, well, Jesus really does want me to get on the exercise bike.
So for all of you who have been asking for a real WW Talk ride, I mean, look, you now have all three of us. I cannot I cannot tell you that we're going to have a ride scheduled like immediately, but we're going to get her into it. And then she's going to learn the leaderboard and like fighting with people for like who's in first place. That's a whole nother thing because people are so serious about like.
And then there's people like Candice are so serious. Let's be real.
This is true.
Because
true.
I hate the leaderboard. I hate it with a passion because I look at it and I'm at the bottom of it and I'm like, I'm already working as hard as I can. I'm going to hurt myself. So I know I like comparing with myself because you can have those metrics where you can do better than your best. So for me, the leaderboard is not encouraging in any way, but
I'm just curious if Erin's going to be the type. I just want to know her Peloton type. Like, is she going to be the type that if she's passing you on the leaderboard, there's some people who are passive aggressive, like they pass you on the leaderboard and then they high five you, like, haha, I passed you. It's like a whole thing.
I think Erin's just going to high five everybody.
Erin's just going to come in like high five, high five, high five. Like,
guys, look, we're doing it. Everybody's doing their race. Isn't this
there's
great?
some people who do that. They high five the whole ride. So I totally just want to know your whole vibe. Like, there's a way.
Okay.
So I only want you
now
to
that I've got 2 months free from you, we'll find out.
And
well, then, you can also you're also going to use the brain recovering. So it's also still, we have to like be nice, be like, go easy on her. Cause you know, all the synapses aren't together. So I don't want to,
if we can schedule it, this might be a great time to include the community. The Thanksgiving ride is something I don't do many live rides, but every year I do the Thanksgiving live ride.
Didn't it break last year or something?
It did.
Everybody was joining. Yes.
I was very sad. So I hope they fixed that because I didn't. I think I got in late or watched it when it was, recorded later. I think I ended up doing something else. But that has been my tradition is every year, the Thanksgiving ride. It's like at 6 a.m. It's usually Robin, ours on. And 6 a.m, Thanksgiving Day, turkey burn. It's like an hour.
Before you come over and make me greens, Erin, we're gonna go and burn some turkey. Okay. Don't listen, Grandma. I make it, but like for real. For real.
We gotta get our Thanksgiving plan together. We gotta get Candice's Thanksgiving together.
And I feel so bad because that was you have thoughts when people are going through like hard times, and I truly like I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm really praying that she doesn't see. I can't make her laugh, right? Like I was praying that she would do well because I was like, what's gonna happen?
Lord, please let her brain come back because you didn't write down the recipe for the greens.
Altered and forgets the recipe. Like, we got Grandma all excited last year that like I know how to make
the greens. Candy did the greens real good.
It was like, you're really worried about Erin. I was like, yes. And I'm also worried about Thanksgiving.
Right.
What if she's not recovered in time to make the greens? It will be a big faux pas. So Erin, in case you didn't know, that was my, selfish reason for welcoming you back to Real WW Talk in here. Like, you have purpose in this world. Okay.
See, I love it. No, because like your Thanksgiving is my Thanksgiving now because I get to have so much fun making Thanksgiving. Let me
because she's like, Candice, you need to put this stuff out. Like, I think it's like it allows her to have that mother because she's like, if you don't put this stuff over here, when did you go and buy the thing? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. And she'll give me something from Whole Foods, and I'm like, no, we need to do smoked ham hocks. Okay, that's not. If you want Grandma to enjoy this, we gotta.
Because Grandma just has vegetables, because she has the syllables, right? And she said, I just want you to know, don't you ever in your life make me greens with this mess from Whole Foods there too. And I was like, but it said that it was an organic smoked something. And Erin was like, if you don't, I'll get that part. You literally go and get the collards, leave them alone, and I'll do it. So community, like I said, we welcome Erin back for selfish reasons. You're welcome that she's back to give some recipes to you guys with a little bit of mint, and I get to have Thanksgiving. Other than that, we're just also so happy that you're doing well. Truthfully,
yes, we are.
Truthfully. I'm glad you'll start seeing me more back in the Real WW Talk community. I've got to watch how much time I'm online with my eyes, and it's just dumb, but it is what it is right now. So I'm just trying to.
In whatever way you're here, we will take it, and we're happy to have you. And if you all, like I said, if you don't know how to connect with us, I don't know, Rikki, if you want to kind of give them a heads up for
Yes.
the way to connect with us in the community.
Of course. So we'd love to hear from you. We have multiple ways you can get in touch with us. We have our email. You can reach us at realwwtalk@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, so you can send us a message there or just view some of our videos. You can also see our lovely faces on YouTube. Just search Real WW Talk on there. Candice and I are on Connect, and we are inspiring to be more active and engaged on that community.
You had to inspire for a good little while, but that's
right. And you can also catch us wherever you like to listen to podcasts. Just search Real WW Talk. We're on TikTok too. We're kind of dipping our toes into TikTok and getting in there. And, you know, if you want to just buy us a cup of coffee or just, you know, send us a little love in that way, you can just look at the show notes for more information about ways you can support us, because we know that this is something we love doing, but also it's a, you know, a little bit of a cost to create. So we're just grateful for anything you're willing to share with us.
Yes. And we're so grateful. Like Rikki did say, the emails that you sent, we promise, like you told you, that Erin got them. We read them. We may not be able to respond all the time to things because certain things are in place, especially if you leave it via like the link in our description note. We can't respond.
The text. Yeah, our text. Yeah.
You can text, but we do read, and we try to make sure that we shout you out from time to time. So, but Erin, we love you. You look great. You wouldn't even known it, but
can you see it? If I turn my head, can you?
Careful now! Don't turn it too fast.
Can you see it?
You can see the hair
on YouTube. Yeah.
So here's the problem now. It no longer, you can't see my scar. My surgeon did such an amazing job. Shout out Johns Hopkins, Dr. Gallia. You don't see the scar. It just looks like remnants of a poor choice of a haircut. It looks like I decided, you know what? I'm going to do the undercut. I'm going to be so cool. Yeah. And then I sat in the chair and I was like, I'm not this cool. I'm not this person. And then I ran midway through. That's what it looks like. It's, yeah. Well, and now it's starting to grow out and sticking straight out. So that's
a new
also
style.
Volume. It's giving you some volume on the top.
Embrace it. That's right. Well, I feel like we end this episode with a quote that Erin has on her page that I thought would just be the way to end it, which is, Erin, the brain is pristine. Okay.
Praise the Lord. That Dr. Gallia.
Lord, the brain is pristine. We love you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.